Okay, welcome to video number 2 about car buying. And I may have lied. These videos may go on to 3, 4, or 5 videos depending upon how I feel. This second topic I want to cover is we covered financing in the previous one. The second topic I want to cover is what type of vehicle are you going to buy? So when I recently bought my vehicle, I had a Mazda 3. I got another Mazda 3. Not the greatest car in the world, but I'm a single guy with no kids. I like the driving dynamics, things like that. But I would say do your research before you go to the dealership. Because the more information that you're armed with, the less lie or potential lies or, just pitfalls, you'll be susceptible to. And one of the biggest things for me, and I'll start here, I know this is kind of an odd point, is insurance. So I have a lead foot. And when I was in the process of buying another car, like I said, I love my old Mazda 3. It was great. I was actually considering buying another one. But then I started looking and I was like, I saw these Subarus, I saw these Acuras, and I saw all these other vehicles, and I almost fell into, well, I didn't fall into a pitfall, but one thing that I did do is I went to my insurance company's website, and I have Geico. So if you have insurance right now, it's always a good idea when you're looking at different makes and models, and you are going to have to decide what your needs are. If you have a family, you might need a larger vehicle, or if you're in a place where there's a lot of snow, you might need all-wheel drive or a vehicle that has a certain, um, ground clearance. So all those things you're going to figure out, on your own. I can't possibly cover those. But one thing that I can say, or the first tip that I'll hit in this video, is check your insurance company. If they have a website that you can go in, plug in VIN numbers, and see what your insurance premiums will be, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to do so. Because I did so, and I pretty much got locked into the Mazda. I could have gotten a different car, but the insurance payments would have been crazy. Like I said, I get a speeding ticket or two every year. And so when I was, I'm already paying a little more than I probably should for insurance just because of that. But when I was going on these sites, anything that said sport or anything that was sportier, my insurance was going to skyrocket. So even though I had financing lined up and I can afford those payments, I was looking at these insurance payments and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're talking two, three, on some vehicles, a lot of money. And what insurance companies are looking at is your driving record and the cost that they're going to have to take on if the vehicle's damaged. So if you buy a vehicle with a ton of features and things like that, and a common pitfall is to try to reach for that super luxury vehicle, and when you're not thinking about, your insurance is going to go up, and your insurance company's like, well, if he gets in a wreck in that vehicle, we got to replace those xenon headlights, those LED headlights. We got to replace that air suspension. All right, this premium's going to shoot up. So, I highly encourage you to go on their website, check the numbers, and see how much your insurance is going to go up, because you may not even be able to afford the payments with the new insurance premium. And the number 2 part that I will say that I will cover in this video. And there's other things, guys. And, if you want me to cover a topic, leave it in the comments below. And I will do my best to get a video out as quickly as possible if I feel like it's a, strong enough topic. But is cost of ownership. A lot of times a pitfall, like I just said, is to reach for that luxury vehicle. Well, I can afford that. And I think that, you want to stay away from older luxury vehicles unless you have, money that you can put into repairs on those vehicles. Like a lot of times when you're looking for a new vehicle or a, gently used vehicle, you can see, deals on especially Jaguars, Cadillacs, and a couple other brands, but the cost of ownership, it's not that the vehicles are necessarily unreliable, it's just that an oil change is $200, or to replace, to replace a certain part, it's going to be really expensive. I'll give you an example. There are some Mercedes vehicles that I was actually looking at, and this is over a year before I bought a car. I wasn't really looking intently, but I was looking at this Mercedes, and this kind of jumped out at me. And I was reading something about cost of ownership and all these Mercedes and how they're high, and I knew that. But on several Mercedes models, they had two spark plugs per cylinder in the engine. And I know some of you who are not mechanically inclined, will not know what that is. But anyway, these are not cheap spark plugs. These are like $14 spark plugs, and you're having to double the amount you're paying. And in the article, it said it only boosts the car's efficiency by like 5%. Not that much, but on a lot of these luxury vehicles, even if the features and things are very nice, it's still going to cost you if something breaks down. You have 50 million sensors, and that's a lot of diagnostic work that would have to be done if there's an issue, and a greater likelihood that you'll have to pay out more in even routine maintenance. So those are two big things I think you should keep in mind. The last part of the video that I'll say is that when you're looking at cars, again, with the internet, we have it so good, guys. Like when I was looking for my car, I went online, and this was actually a great deal that I went to, because I would suggest when you're looking at vehicles, narrow it down what kind of vehicle you want, what makes and models, do you like. And when you see them at a dealership, go on cargurus.com, kellybluebook.com, or cars.com, and they'll give you a great idea of what the car is usually going for or what its value is. And then you can kind of go from there. There are some cars that always sell. It's called market value. Their value, on KBB or something may be at this level, but their market value, because they're highly desirable, may be higher. So you want to keep that in mind, because when you're financing a car, you're gonna the bank or finance company is gonna be looking at you like, well, hey, this car's worth $20,000. You're talking about paying $27,000. We're gonna hit you. And a lot of times you'll see a higher interest rate on that, because, again, the bank is looking at their risk. They're like, well, this car is going to depreciate. We need to get more of our money up front, so the interest rate's higher. But anyway, you want to keep that in mind. And a lot of times these dealers will list the VIN number, so you can plug that right in and see exactly what the car is worth. Or at least know, they'll list a detailed, feature set, so you can know exactly what features and things the car has, so you can know if that dealer's price is, below market, above market, or right, where it should be, and then you can negotiate from there. With my car, I really did not have to negotiate the price. I guess I could have, but it was I checked all three of those websites. And I even talked to a guy at work who had recently got, similar, the same model. And, that car was listed like $1,500. I think it was like $1,500 or $1,600 less than the value. It had been sitting there for a while. I'm out here in Oklahoma, so trucks are really big. And this car is not hugely desirable, so I was able to take advantage of that. This dealer that I went to, they move a lot of cars on their website. And for some reason, this car, had been on their site for like over a month or maybe 2 months, and there wasn't anything wrong with it, because I've had it for a month now, put it through its paces, no issues. But again, not to ramble on, but those are just some helpful tips that I found useful in my search for a new car, or a gently used car. Again, guys, if you have questions, comment below. If you think there's something I missed or I should cover, or that I'm not right about, put in the comments, request that I cover it, whatever you want to do. I'd be glad to review those, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks for watching.